Last time, in the slave anime, Aoba and her friends told Yuuki how the government was using half-turned monster girls like them as experiment and research subjects, so they were planning to expose the government to the entire world, but their Tenka and Kyouka finally found Yuuki and attacked their hideout. The whole 6th and 7th squadron stayed behind to hold Coco and Nano, which gives Kyouka and Tenka a perfect chance to get Yuuki away from Aoba, but Aoba caught up to them quickly and tried to attack them, but Yuuki gets in between and created a chance for all of them to have a talk. Kyouka and Tenka heard the whole evil deeds of the government and promised to help Aoba only if she holds off her plan to attack the facility, but Aoba didn't believe on her words and binds Yuuki with her hair, to keep him away from their fight. But aside from them, some other humanoid shukis or something were planning to attack both Aoba and the Demon Defense Force. So, as the story continues, Nei was praying from the dorms for Yuuki and the others, but while doing so, the serious fight between the girls begins with a big blast. Kyouka was against the Horn Shuki and gave a bit of damage with a single move. She had trained herself to keep calm to avenge her mother from that Horn Shuki and was gaining an upper hand in a fight, but the fight between Aoba and Tenka was going off the rails, and Aoba used an impressive speed to dodge Tenka's black hole attack, and just as Tenka dodged Aoba's attack, she used the opportunity to use black hole again, but Aoba dodges and counterattacks. She was eating the peaches again and extended her power even more, and Tenka was thinking of a plan because Aoba had many attacks up her sleeve. There Aoba used her hair as bullets but Tenka avoided it, but Aoba caught up and kept chasing Tenka down every time she was avoiding her. Aoba planned to wear her down, but Tenka could use gate 666 times, so the fight could be prolonged, until she gets a chance. As for others, Coco used a fluid power to avoid all the punches from Sahara and Suruga. So Suruga threw out a boulder at her, and Kuma attacked both the ladies, but Coco was unscathed even then, plus her fluid power has healing powers. Suruga was getting desperate to save Yuuki, but just to make fun of her, Coco told her all the girls adores him, and Coco called dibs on Yuuki. She tells them their entire plan to invade the facility and make their existence public with a massive shuki, but they thought she was talking about a powerful shuki that she was planning to release on Earth. A similar thing had happened before, so they stood tall to fight, but Suruga planned to use a formation S, so Suruga took Sahara and ran off. The plan was to run and throw Suruga while she shrinks and gets into Kuma, so she would use her size expansion to come out. And then Sahara would use her power to land a hit on Coco, but she was all slimy with fluid powers, and for that, Sahara was planning to use Kuma's teeth, and with that, Coco and Kuma were finally at the ends, but it took out a whole lot of toll on Sahara, and Coco started to heal herself, and Kuma started to reattach his body. Meanwhile, Himari was in a tight spot as Nano finally showed up, and looking at that, Yachiho used her time reverse power to defend against back attacks, so Nano changed her plans, as she was moving around the walls. But then she used a time freeze again to save Himari, so Yachiho used it yet again to kill another batch, but then Nano came out, and Himari then took the chance to fend her off. She knew Yachiho was using her time powers all this time, so she kept defending Yachiho for a while until she was again ready to go, and Nano was planning something on her end, and the Azuma sisters were having their own plan. Yachiho knew that there was a slight chance that she would mess up, but Himari had a secret move she was saving all the while, but she had never tried it out. But she was confident she could pull it off, so Yachiho agreed to give her a chance, and Himari lets loose of her hair and turned the pile of her hairs into guns. She blindly shot the area and finally got Nano in the end, so Yachiho reversed the time 10 seconds back and told Himari that her plan worked, and told her to target right at Nano. It did get her, and her pet, so she was also on the losing end. And away from them, Tenka kept dodging Aoba until she used her to attack her own Shuki. Her plan worked as Kyouka got the chance to hit Aoba, and Aoba again used full speed to change locations, but Tenka just learned her patterns of movement, so she made a black hole right on a perfect spot, but somehow she couldn't bring herself to kill Aoba and undid her spell before she gets killed, and Aoba attacked Tenka with her beam and injured her completely. Aoba noticed Tenka intentionally undid her spell, and Tenka tells Aoba that she couldn't bring herself to kill the elder sister of the boy she loves. That made Aoba happy that she considered Yuki's feeling. And Tenka had this thought of having a normal day with Yuuki and Aoba, then getting married with Yuuki, and spending a passionate night with him, and finally becoming a mother of Yuki's child and making a family with him, but Aoba thinks that's out of the question, but she still thought of letting them go, but that won't change her mind from attacking the facility, and their Coco came in all beaten up with Nano, and after them, the whole team got gathered for a team fight, and suddenly Nei senses a presence of something unknown near them, and that's when Shikoku enters the place with Juryu. She claims herself as a god, and Juryu got the Nano and Coco in a flash, and Shikoku used her snakes and made it clear her motive is to harm humanity as she's a god. There Juryu just stomped her leg and it was powerful enough to fend the others off, but Aoba protected Yuuki and the two, but her pet, Horn Shuki, then stabbed her in the back. And even after Aoba tried to subdue her, she was beaten by it. Shikoku used her snakes to make the Horn Shuki run wild, and the horn was just about to kill Aoba off. But Kyouka and Yuuki stepped in between, as Yuuki was on par with the horn and decided to make a final showdown. But that is where the episode 11 ends, but stay tuned to watch the last episode, and until then, if you haven't seen the previous episodes, then go to the playlist section named Chained Soldiers to watch all the previous episodes to catch up. Until then, take care.